that coincides with this championships in Prague.
Yeah, I certainly hope we're going to be able to get some in-camera scenes here where we get to see Vrastil and what's there as he sits on the floor. But as we're rolling through now, seeing all of these different settings, I think that maybe the first boathouse that I've seen from the scenes so far. Fun to see. Lots of bedrooms, lots of living rooms here. That looks like even office even as we sit there. I'm really hoping that we're going to see this racing happen. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch Vrastil here as we get in, and especially with that stated goal for today's race, it should be a fun one to see what happens.
Yeah, it really will be a fun one to see what happens, and we'll wait with bated breath and almost too soon that these guys are getting off the gun because it's a false start here, just too keen. Number 107, that's Philip John Caputa of the United States, but no matter, we'll do what we did last time. Big deep breath, reset the handle. And Shane, it can sometimes, I don't know whether a false start sometimes can be advantageous or whether it's a bit off-putting.
It's going to come down to the athlete. You're going to have the athlete who wants to get out the nerves and just be done with it and get going. And there's for that person, it can be a little bit more stressful because that moment that they were anticipating and waiting for and ready for to just unleash and go, they take the first stroke and it still happens, whether they wanted it to or not. And so all of a sudden they've lost that initial juice that they had ready to go. And then there are those athletes who, I think, regardless of the scenario, they understand that the race is 2,000 meters long and it doesn't happen in the first couple strokes. And so I think the athletes who can handle something like this, the athletes who have the best mental game and who understand that they are here to compete and to show up, they are not superstitious about what happens in those first few strokes, and they can handle the adversity of something like a false start.
Yeah, and look at that. We're off cleanly again this time around. So absolutely to the letter of what you're saying. They can handle this. They're all finely tuned athletes, and we're back underway. And that time, we mentioned it earlier, Miroslav Vrastil looking to set a world best time here in the lightweight 40 to 49 category, which is the world record banding that we've got. He set it himself only last year, 6:13.6, but he's going for a time quicker than that to better his own world record in this category. And he's starting well here, Shane. He's out at the front of the field and off the blocks.
Yep, sitting behind him, Alonso 6 meters back, and behind him, Maliniki sitting 17 meters behind, and Vrastil just making it known that he is on a mission right now. Just not leaving anything to chance at this moment, as he is just pushing away. And compared to anybody else in his race right now, he's 4 seconds faster on the split. Just not a chance right now. We're going to have to see how that plays out over the rest of the piece, if he's able to maintain that, and if that is his race plan. And if it is, I think he's gonna be on track to hopefully hit what he's won. But now let's look down at that 45 to 49 lightweight men. We're seeing Goimerans sitting in the lead, but right behind him, Alvarez looking to make a move on him, slowly walking back 3 meters back, but that is a race there. Alvarez, I think, is going to see a shift into that first place position based off the splits right now. We'll see that change happen. And we've got McDonald sitting in first for that lightweight man 50 to 54. Behind him, Montez and Healy, 12 meters separating first through third.
Yeah, that battle at the bottom of the screen, we've got Miroslav Vrastil on picture there in the big picture, but at the bottom, that's that 1 meter fight. It's now kind of boiled down to between Goimerans of Spain and Alvarez of Spain, and it's just getting tighter with every single stroke. I think, if anything, the speed now with Alvarez, who has just moved into the lead of that 45 to 49 category. So we'll revisit that once we get into the closing stages of this race. Still, all of that center chunk, the really beefy part of this race now, where you've got to hold your nerve, hold your own, but also settle. Shepherd of Great Britain there just on the screen, and we've got more Czech interest in Václav Valek here in the 40 to 44 category. But we promised we'd bring you back to this race. We'd revisit this ever so small gap between the two Spanish athletes, Jesus Gonzalez Alvarez, who's pushed through in this second 500 meters, and Juan Guimarães of Spain, currently in silver medal position. But look, Shane, I think if that's the race plan for Guimarães in second, if he's just reserving and allowing to go off and chase that gold medal and tire himself out, I think that Guimarães could be the more sensible of the two here.
Yeah, if that is his plan, then he's sitting exactly where he wants to and sitting within striking distance. The way to really, I think, suss out what's happening with that race plan is, what's happening to their split. Are we seeing a gradual increase or a decrease as the piece goes on? I think that's what is going to give you that inclination as to, hey, is this person executing what they want? Guimarães right now sitting 9 meters back, 138 and 137 for Alvarez. They are holding together there, 10 meters back, but inside of 1,000 meters, it's still a race. I don't think anything is decided yet.
Yeah, nothing is decided yet, but look, this is where we'll start to kind of see people getting into alignment for their sprint. They're having to kind of hold themselves. They maybe don't want to point in time. This is where you're really, really exhausted, right? This is where you need to breathe in that oxygen, get yourself prepared, maybe take a few calm, deep breaths in order to get yourself lined up for the best sprint possible to take you all the way through to the line. Ben Bohm there on screen, who is in the midst of this competition and looking very rhythmical indeed in this particular category. Jean-Marc Morel tuning in all the way from South Africa in this 50 to 54 lightweight men's category. He's in the middle of the pack of those green boats. More from that 50 to 54 men's category, Massimiliano Guidi of Italy. And again, some great pace being set, but a change in lead in this category that Guidi's up in that Kenneth MacDonald is currently slipping behind the Carlos Rodriguez Montes charge that's happening into this final 500 meters, and that could be enough to clinch him a gold medal in that 50 to 54 category, Shane.
Yeah, it could be the opportunity that he needs to be able to make that move. I mean, a 3 meter difference, though. It looks like McDonald's not going to be okay with that change by Montes, and he's going to be doing what he's got to do to claw that back. And there it goes, 3 meters back, 2 meters back. They're starting to battle now. 140s on the splits, but it looks like McDonald right now, with 250 meters to go, is the one who's got a little bit more on it. We'll see what happens too. If Montes holds where he is, Healy has an opportunity here to move up as well. So let's not lose track of what's happening there. Meanwhile, final 250 meters, Vrastil holding that lead, 134 split. He is well in the lead. The question is going to be if he is able to take that world record that he was gunning for. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Final few strokes there, and we'll wait with bated breath. But 6:13.1, it is 0.5 of a second, knocked off his own world record from 2023. We'll wait for that to be confirmed, but I think he's done it in front of the home crowd. That is sensational from the Czechia athlete, and we'll wait to hear that that's completely confirmed. Sometimes, we just need to double check these things. Valek will finish in second in a time of 6:28.0, and then Damian Alonso, he comes in third for Spain. But finishing in the 45 to 49 category, it was Alvarez that won out over Guimarães, that was very tight in the first half, but sort of split out in the second half, splintered out, and that very, very nail-biting